end up like this.
I mean, resourceful, daring, beautiful, self-sufficient!
Let's talk about it. Hi there. Welcome to the screening room. And today we'll be talking about Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. Harrison Ford returns as Indiana Jones for the 5th installment of this franchise. Why? No, seriously, why? I mean, he continues to be the grumpy old actor slash person on screen. He's just miserable. He should just continue to fly his planes. He's good at that. He should just continue to, have the sexy time with his wife Ally McBeal. Why must he return? It makes no sense. I mean, he has a tendency to come back and destroy his legacy characters. He destroyed Han Solo. He has made it known that he doesn't like that character. And I find it a contradiction that he says that he likes Indiana Jones and he comes back for this piece of shit. Seriously, it is horrible. I just don't get it. With multiple reports of production problems ranging from overblown budgets to multiple rewrites, leading by the Sith Lord Kathleen Kennedy behind the wheel, and a ballless director James Mangold, who did a good job with Logan, by the way, but it doesn't mean that he did a good job with an old man superhero that he could have done with Harrison Ford and Indiana Jones. It's just not the right fit. So with $300 million budget, $150 million for marketing, it needs to make close to $1 billion just to break even.
Not a great plan.
I think Lucasfilm at Disney has a serious problem, and I think they just love it when they just basically piss everyone off. So against my better judgment, of course I'm an Indiana Jones fan and the last one was not so good, so I was just hoping that this one would be better. So against my better judgment, I saw this film because a friend gave me a free ticket. Spoiler warning, my review is going to be quite detailed this time. So we start off with Indiana Jones back in the end of World War II, and we see this de-aged Indiana Jones, and he's with de-aged means basically he looks younger, like the Indiana Jones that we knew, from Last Crusade and Temple of Doom, that kind of age. And he looks quite okay as long as he doesn't move too much his mouth and doesn't go into the light too often. In Darkness, in fairness, it's kind of okay. And he's with his best friend Basil, and they're on a quest for the Spear of Destiny, which is the spear that pierced Jesus Christ at the crucifix. The spear happened to be fake, just like this film.
Emotional damage!
Then you meet this Nazi scientist called Voller, played by the wonderful Mads Mikkelsen, which basically the whole film he just, typically Mads Mikkelsen, he's just like no expression. Okay, just scowl the most of the time. It's just freaking ridiculous. It turns out that he has half the dial of destiny that was made by this mathematician called Archimedes. Fights ensue, bombs explode, and Indy and Basil is on the train trying to escape. And Voller chases after them. Indy tosses the other half because it was threatened by the gun, and all of a sudden Voller's face gets smashed by a pole, a speeding pole, and that's the end. He goes flies off with the half of the dial, so Indy would have gone back home empty-handed. Fast forward to 1969, we are at the age of the space race. Man has landed on the moon. Indiana Jones is old, a broken man, sad. He's lost his son, he's on the cusp of divorce, he's about to retire from his university, and then we meet his goddaughter, Helena Shaw, played by Phoebe Waller-Bridge. She wants the Dial of Destiny, and Indy shows it to her, and then she steals it and being chased by CIA agents and also Nazi conspirators, and they just kill everyone in his school just to clean up the mess. And Indy is framed for murder, and Helena just leaves him there to rot. So Indy tries to escape from the CIA and tries to chase after Helena through a parade with horses. I kid you not. Okay, and shocker, reveal the person that's behind this chase is none other than Voller himself. He survived World War II. What? He should have died. That thing was quite bad, but I don't know who wrote this shit. I have no idea. And because he's wanted for murder, he needs to go and get Helena, and she's in Morocco, and his good friend Salah appears to help him to get passage to Morocco, Tangiers. There, when he goes into the hotel, he finds a black auction about antiquities, and he finds that Helena is trying to sell the Dial of Destiny to a bunch of black marketeers. At the same time, he meets this boy called Teddy, which is a substitute for Short Round, if you remember him from the Temple of Doom. After some repertoire, we get this scene.
You stole it. Then you stole it.
And then I stole it. It's called capitalism.
Coming from a company that actually promotes it.
Damn!
After a long chase through the streets with a tuk-tuk, yeah, you know the one from Thailand, the kind of tuk-tuk, which is freaking unbelievable, and then he has to search for another missing piece in the sea, and there's underwater scenes, and then people die. Oh, by the way, Antonio Banderas is in this one. I have no idea why. And then they search in a cave, and then they find an object that leads to another object that leads to the object to complete the Tao when they find the tomb of Archimedes. Why does this sound so familiar, like the Rise of Skywalker? Voller is angry, Indy gets shot and is left for dead, and for no bloody reason, Voller brings him along for the ride, and they enter a plane, they construct the dial, and it predicts where the time portal is. They fly inside the time portal. Unfreaking believable. And instead of their targeted time, which Voller wanted to go in Germany 1939 so that he can go and take over Hitler and win World War II. So now at Rome 214 BC, the plane crashes and they meet this mathematician that discovered pi. I love pie, it's so delicious. Not that pie? Oh, no, pi, as in 3.142. So they meet Archimedes. Indiana Jones says, "This is fantastic. This is history. I want to stay here." And Helena says, "No," and punches Indy. And then they return back to 1969, whereby he wakes up in his bed, and then his wife returns home, and then they make up. And they are no longer divorced. Who wrote this piece of garbage? This film has so many problems as far as I'm concerned. I mean, this particular film basically just in one sweeping mess destroyed my ideal hero. I mean, I idolized Indiana Jones as some kind of swashbuckling adventurer back in the heydays. I mean, how did it come from someone that was so confident into someone that's so grumpy and miserable and deconstructed? It's almost like what they did to the Last Jedi with Luke Skywalker. It's stupid.
That's right, I said it.
The story makes absolutely no sense. The writers were completely creatively bankrupt. You can tell that there were a lot of things that actually happened, then there was a rewrite and they left something there, and it just didn't really connect it. Cohesively, the whole thing looks like it was written by school children.
Are you serious?
There's so many plot holes that is so big that it makes Kim Kardashian's vagina looks like a small pinhole. I'm going to talk about a few, so buckle up everyone.
It's going to be a bumpy night.
First off, let's look at the Nazi occupation part at the tail end of World War II. Indiana Jones is tied up and is hung, about to be executed. A bomb enters and crashes through the roof and stuck on the floor. It does not detonate, and then it slowly slips through the floor to the next floor below, and then it detonates and it blows up. Everyone dies except Indiana Jones. What the fish? He's in the same bloody room as the soldiers, so the bomb can be selective. It just only blows up the Nazis and leave the Americans alone. What?
Don't bullshit me.
Next, Indiana Jones escapes outside. He steals a car from a soldier. Everywhere is filled with Nazis. He punches the guy, drags him out of the car, dumps him in front, and enters the car. Nothing wrong with that, except everywhere is filled with Nazis. They're all within looking range, plus the officers that came into the car and asking him to drive off was just behind him. They didn't see the body lying on the floor. What the fish?
Bullshit.
Who directed this piece of shit? James Mangold ought to be ashamed of himself. Next, on top of a train, he was trying to escape. German officer come and confront Indiana Jones. Why on the top of the train? I do not know. Maybe cinematic, okay? He is holding the fake knife spear of destiny. Why would he use the knife to confront Indiana Jones when he has a gun? And then after the fight, the spear is thrown off on top of the roof, and two of them are having a fist fight. Basil, which is also on the roof, looks at that spear and tries to grab the spear from falling off the roof. Why is he intent of grabbing a fake knife? He knows it's fake. It was established in the story. It doesn't make sense.
It's all bullshit.
Unless the story first earlier draft was real, then it makes perfect sense that he was trying to grab the stuff. But it's just contradicting itself. It makes no bloody sense. Plus, they're on top of a speeding train. The weird thing is that everything around, there's smoke and wind that's propelling past them. Yet the hat and the cone and everything is not even hardly moving. You can see this is totally green screen. It's not compatible to the physics of that scene. It's just bloody weird. And then there's Voller, the other mad scientist by Matt Mickelson. He goes on top of the train, threatens Indiana Jones, asking him to throw the dial to him. He grabs the dial. At that speed, his head would have been decapitated. So his body is flung together with the dial of destiny. Then at the end, we see him later in the film totally fine. No scar, nothing. On top of that, after that sequence when the Allied forces come and rescue them, Indiana Jones took out the half of Dial of Destiny and passed it to Basil. How in the world did he get it? The thing was flung together with the mad scientist on a moving train that's going so fast. Where did he get it? It's just lazy writing. Then back in 1969, when he escapes on a horse, when the CIA and the Nazis are chasing him, you can see that it doesn't match up. Like for example, a scene whereby the horses, where he's on the horse and it passes through a crowd. The crowd reaction was slow. The horse passed, then the crowd reacted. I mean, it's ridiculous. And the horse enters a subway and then goes to another track in the nick of time. I mean, the circumstances surrounding that is unbloody believable. And then there's Salah. Oh my god, Jonathan Rhys Davies. They got him to come out for nostalgia bait. And then he actually told Indy that he really wanted another last adventure.
I also bought my passport. I could help you in Tangier, wherever chance takes us. Indy, I miss the desert. I miss the sea.
And he got rejected.
What?
Who wrote this? Now, mind you, at this point of time, Indiana Jones was wanted for murder of his colleagues, apparently, right? He was framed for murder. And he's going on an airport to Tangiers, Morocco to chase after Helena, his goddaughter. How in the world did he actually enter custom? Let alone Jonathan Rhys Davies in front of the entrance of the airport just say,
Give him hell, Indiana Jones!
I mean, he spoke his name. I mean, he's wanted for murder. This doesn't make sense. And then when he gets to Morocco and at an auction, Indy is threatened, he takes out his whip.
Get back.
Everyone just shoot into empty space. Oh my god! Who wrote this? Seriously, who wrote this? And then the chase scenes in the streets of Tangier with the tuk-tuks, it's just way too long. And then when they need a boat to go to one of the ships to get the clue, Antonio Banderas was a cameo. And it's wasted. He's just there to get shot and killed. And then when they escape by another boat, Voller took a binoculars and saw them in an empty ocean. Empty ocean with no markers, no hills, no nothing.
Head west, not east.
Is he an internal GPS? He knows where they're going by just looking through a binoculars?
You serious?
And the problem with Voller and the Nazis is that they just appear out of nowhere. There's nothing to be planted that they know where these people are. They just conveniently appear from around the corner, just like teleportation. They might as well be in a Bollywood musical. Then in Italy, Voller captures Teddy, the small boy, so that he would have a clue to go to Archimedes' tomb. Why not capture Helena or Indiana Jones? Why the boy? How you expect the boy would know anything? And it's ridiculous. I mean, if I want to capture a billionaire, I won't capture the person's mate, right? This is just lazy writing. Then in the tomb of Archimedes, deep in the caverns of Archimedes, they encounter a place that has bugs and spiders and centipedes and whatever. Helena is screaming. I would expect Indiana Jones to tell Helena to come here, and then he just swipe the bugs around, just like Raiders of the Lost Ark. But no. What the hell? This is exactly what I mean. It's deconstruction of our heroes and making them weak and propelling the women to be stronger. It's stupid. It's ridiculous, and I do not want to have anything to do with it.
Woo! Yeah!
One of Voller's men, a 7-foot giant, handcuffs himself to Teddy, a small little boy, and through a commotion they fell into a river, and Teddy can unlock the handcuff and chain him to a grill and let the guy drown, so Teddy, this small boy, can overcome a 7-foot person and murders him.
Bullshit.
In another scene, Voller shoots Indy in the chest and he looks like he's dying, and he doesn't leave him there. He tells his goons to say, bring him along. Why? Why bring your enemy along for the ride? It doesn't make sense. And his injuries is not consistent. Sometimes he's I'm dying, and sometimes he looks okay. So I'm not so sure which was shot when. It's not consistent. And also, when Voller plane drives through the time portal, behind Teddy, the small boy, flies a smaller plane, a Cessna, and follows them to the time portal. How in the world he knows how to fly a plane? We established he had an interest in flying a plane. He was trying to learn by shifting some utensils back at the cafe, and someone was teaching him. But that doesn't constitute that you know how to fly a plane. An SIA pilot will not get his license by flying aircraft simulator from PlayStation 5. The world doesn't do that.
Come on, don't bullshit me.
When they arrive at 214 BC, the plane enters a time portal. The Romans attack the plane with spears because they think it is a dragon. What? Yes, I shit you not, a dragon. The only records of Romans encountering dragons is they encountered large boa constrictors like pythons when they were in Africa during one of their campaigns in 200 plus BC. So the only dragon is a serpent. I mean, you didn't even bother to do your research. How you expect me to believe it? It's ridiculous. Those flying dragons with wings are the mythical realms, but it's not believable. You're talking about something that is based on reality here. It's nothing mythical about Archimedes. and the siege of Syracuse, which is exactly where they landed up in 2014 BC. And also the ending is absolutely freaking ridiculous. There were 6 known endings. One of them actually rumored to be including Short Rounds, starring Ki Wei Kwan. But they picked one ending.
We need to do this.
Me too.
So if that's the case, he gets knocked out, and then we open that we are back in 1969 and he's in his apartment resting in his bed. Then explain to me a few things. How did she carry Indiana Jones' body into the other plane that Teddy has flown, let alone land properly just beside them? Explain to me how Teddy flew the plane back into the time portal and expecting to go back to 1969 when from 1969 they were supposed to go to 1939 Germany and they couldn't do it. So what are the chances of them going back to the same place? It doesn't make sense. Then coming back, land at the airport, get a transport from the airport, most probably have to fly to New York, carry him into a cab, carry him up to the apartment, put him in bed, then go and find Marion and get Marion to come and take him back and reconcile. That's a stretch. Plus, he's still wanted for murder. How you explain carrying an unconscious man from the airport out of customs? Plus, how long can a punch knock out a guy? 2 days? 3 days? Because the journey is not instantaneous. Like I said, who wrote this shit?
It's probably not me.
And I saved the worst for last. Phoebe Waller freaking Bridge. This bitch is the poster child for Kathleen Kennedy's war against men. She is so annoying, irritating, insufferable, and downright has no redeeming quality whatsoever.
Come on, Indy, everyone knows this. Even this clown.
She betrays Indy, she wants everything for money. There's nothing that I like about her in this character. Regardless of the fact that at the end she saves Indy, she didn't save Indy. Nothing in that story works as a redeeming quality for any hero or heroine. She is basically, in my opinion, a Mary Sue, someone that's inserted that can do no wrong. There's a scene that she actually jumped from another building to another building during a chase scene. Are you kidding me? The only person that I know that can do that is Jackie Chan. There's no way in hell that she can do that. She runs like a giraffe. She's not attractive, and she wants to make me believe that she is in the whole film.
Most assuredly.
And everyone that walks past her is giving her the eye that they want to sleep with her. No way. Even if you paid me money, I wouldn't even want to open her legs.
Emotional damage.
And the worst thing is that throughout the movie, she belittles Indiana Jones, saying that she's the best.
Come on, Indy, everyone knows this. Even this clown.
Wax and wood.
Anything else?
That is very disrespectful. And compare her with the other leading ladies in the past of Indiana Jones. You have Karen Allen, she was beautiful when she was at Raiders of Lost Ark. Kate Capshaw, oh my gosh, American Dream, Large Eyes. And Alison Doody, Last Crusade, oh, gorgeous. Kate Blanchett, forget about that. I need a drink. I think it's the wrong director. I think it's the wrong producer. Kathleen Kennedy should be shot and buried 6 feet under and solve all our problems. I think James Mangold is good at some other genres, but definitely this is not his style. The MacGuffin itself is wrong. Raiders of the Lost Ark, a mythical biblical object. The Sakara stones was mythical. The Cup of Christ was mythical. There's some kind of magic surrounding these objects. The character Indiana Jones wanted to be in a museum, but it should be just left out there among the legends. Less said about the alien head in Crystal Skull, the better. But for this, is just a clock.
You take that back!
So, there's nothing mythical about it. It's just a clock that can predict fissures in time. What the hell is that?
Bullshit!
Why am I excited? And if he lost his son in this film because the son went to Vietnam War, he says that if he had a chance to go back in time, he would stop his son from enlisting in the army. So if the Dial of Destiny could predict a portal in time, shouldn't that be his main concern and his main goal? But Indiana Jones has no goal. And also the premise.
Larger disturbances?
Your father thought this thing could predict fissures in time.
That this clock can predict a wormhole that is in the air and it can go through time anytime it can, and the clock's supposed to predict a wormhole. It's a stupid plot. That means without the clock, the wormhole is still there. That means any aircraft that's flying should go through that portal in time. It doesn't make sense. If you're telling me that that clock opens time portal, maybe. But it's just predicting where the time portal is and then you just go to that location. That's stupid. That means the time portal was there all the time. That's lazy writing again. Time travel films are tricky, okay? Because you have to think about the butterfly effect. The fact that if Indy's presence and the plane crashed back in 2014 BC should already create a ripple in time whereby it will certainly change history as we know it. So if Indy actually makes it back to 1969, he would have gone back to a different world, maybe far superior technological world, because items from the future went back to the past and the inventors from the past have a leg up to create something better. That's the butterfly effect. Same thing with Back to the Future. And no, it's so ironic that Back to the Future Part 2 talks about this.
Prior to this point in time, somewhere in the past, the timeline skewed into this tangent, creating an alternate 1985.
And was directed by Steven Spielberg, and he's the producer of this film. He should know this. What the hell?
Super burned the weddings off!
But I got to give it a grade for this film. I don't know how to give it a grade. The only grade that I can think of after all I've gone through, and basically I've gone through a lot after watching this film. I've been tormenting on this, trying to figure out my thoughts. I think the safest grade I can give this is a grade D. Don't watch it. Save your money. Get your friend to give it to you. I need therapy.
I still wouldn't be able to locate my interest in your problem.
So that's all from me from the screening room. Thank you for watching, and if you like my content, please subscribe to my channel, turn on the notification, and click the like button, and join my family of film aficionados so that I can get more content out for you guys. Come back anytime. The room is always open. Bye for now.